Your mechanic is quietly begging you not to buy a new car. Why? Because these 4 cheap used cars will run practically forever, laughing in the face of anything with a monthly payment attached. Buy these 4 cheap used cars, drive forever, and put your mechanic's kid out of college, because you flat out will not be visiting him. So buckle up, because number 4 is about to prove that reliability was never about the price tag.
Number 4. Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, 2011. Here's a fun little secret dealers don't advertise. This exact vehicle wears a completely different badge depending on where you find it in the world, and yet somehow almost nobody talks about it here. That's a shame, because underneath the identity crisis is one of the more underrated small SUVs of its generation. Let's get the joke out of the way early. Yes, the name is a mouthful. Outlander Sport implies you're about to go off-roading through the wilderness at high speed. In reality, the sportiest thing most owners do in this car is parallel park it slightly faster than expected. But that's honestly fine, because what this SUV actually delivers is far more useful than a marketing name suggests. Visibility is genuinely excellent here. The greenhouse is tall, the mirrors are large, and multiple owners specifically point out there are no real blind spots to fight with. That's a rare compliment for a compact crossover from this era. The cabin also punches above its size. Rear seats fold flat, cargo space is usable rather than decorative, and the driving position is upright and comfortable for longer stretches behind the wheel. Fuel economy sits in the mid-20s in the city and creeps up toward 30 on the highway, which is respectable for a vehicle this practical. And under the hood, the 2.0-liter 4-cylinder is mechanically simple. No turbo to babysit, no complicated hybrid system to worry about. Just a straightforward engine that mechanics can diagnose in their sleep. Owners regularly report crossing 200,000 miles with nothing more dramatic than routine maintenance, and more than a few have pushed well past that without a single major failure. Now here's where you need to pay attention before handing over any cash. This generation had a handful of recalls worth knowing about, covering things like a drive belt tensioner that could crack, a brake booster component that occasionally failed to reset properly, and, in certain climates, corrosion around the front control arms and wiper linkage from long-term exposure to road salt and moisture. None of this should scare you off. Recalls mean the manufacturer already identified and fixed the issue for free, which is actually a point in this car's favor once it's confirmed the work was done. The other thing to watch for is the CVT automatic transmission, which some owners describe as a little noisy or hesitant under hard acceleration. If that sounds like a deal breaker, here's the good news. This generation also offered a 5-speed manual transmission, which completely sidesteps the CVT conversation altogether and tends to be the version enthusiasts specifically seek out for long-term reliability. Whichever transmission you choose, always ask for full service records, confirm any open recalls were completed, and get a pre-purchase inspection focused on suspension components and rust around the frame if the car spent winters somewhere salty. Handle those 3 things, and you're in genuinely safe territory. And here's the number that should really turn your head. Independent repair data ranks this SUV 7th out of 26 vehicles in its entire class for reliability, with average annual repair costs sitting under $500 a year. That's lower than most of its more famous competitors, despite this thing flying almost completely under the radar. It's the automotive equivalent of the quiet kid in class who turns out to have the best grades in school. Reliable, cheap to keep healthy, and consistently underestimated. In the used market, this model can be found starting at around $3,000, with prices reaching up to $7,000 depending on the condition of the individual unit, mileage, and whether it's rocking that sought-after manual gearbox. For a compact SUV with this kind of proven durability, that's about as low risk as budget shopping gets. And if you thought that was a good value play, wait until you see what's coming up next, because the vehicles still ahead on this list only get more interesting from here.
Number 3. Mazda 3, 2014. Picture this. A car so good at pretending it isn't cheap that an entire panel of automotive judges handed it a major industry award for being one of the best used cars you could buy, and most shoppers still walk right past it on the lot without a second glance. That ends today. Let's talk about the joke first, because this one writes itself. Compact cars from this era were mostly appliances with wheels. Functional, forgettable. The automotive equivalent of a beige raincoat. Then Mazda showed up to this segment wearing a tailored jacket and driving like it actually wanted to be there. It's the only car on this list that might make you late for an appointment because you took the long way home just for fun. Here's why this generation specifically earns its spot. Mazda's Sky-Active engineering philosophy debuted right around this model, and it shows. You've got a choice between a 2.0-liter four-cylinder producing a lively 155 horsepower or a punchier 2.5-liter putting out 184 horsepower in the sportier trims. Both are naturally aspirated, both are refreshingly simple with no turbocharger to eventually fail you, and both return genuinely impressive fuel economy, with EPA highway ratings stretching well into the 40s depending on trim. The chassis tuning is where this car separates itself from every other compact of its generation. Steering feels connected, body roll is minimal, and the whole car simply responds the instant you ask something of it. Inside, the cabin punches well above its price class, with tidy switchgear, available heads-up display, and a build quality that consistently surprises people who assumed compact meant cheap feeling. It's no accident that industry reviewers specifically singled out this third generation as a benchmark used car pick in the compact segment. Now for the part you actually need before signing anything. This generation has a well-documented quirk with the rear suspension, specifically the sway bar links, which can loosen or rust over time and produce a rattling or clunking noise from the back of the car over rough pavement. It sounds alarming, but it's a remarkably inexpensive fix, typically well under $100 in parts. You'll also want to listen for excessive rear brake wear, since a subset of owners have reported replacing rear calipers, rotors, or pads earlier than expected. And if the car you're looking at has the touchscreen infotainment system, test every button and menu thoroughly, since some owners have dealt with sluggish or glitchy behavior on that unit specifically. None of this should scare you away. Always ask for maintenance records, confirm any recall work was completed, and get a pre-purchase inspection with specific attention to the rear suspension and brakes. If you want the absolute safest version to target, look for the base trim without the touchscreen infotainment package paired with the 6-speed manual transmission. Fewer electronics to misbehave, fewer complex components to fail, and it happens to be the exact combination driving enthusiasts specifically seek out. And here's a genuinely satisfying detail to close this one out. Independent repair data places this car's average annual repair cost at just over $400, ranking it among the most affordable compact cars in its entire class to keep healthy, while multiple long-term owners report crossing 200,000 miles with nothing beyond routine upkeep. That's a car engineered to feel like a step above its price bracket, while quietly costing less to maintain than plenty of its more boring competitors. Not bad for something people mistake for just another economy hatchback in the parking lot. In the used market, this model can be found starting at around $4,000, with prices reaching up to $11,000 depending on the condition of the individual unit, mileage, and whether it's wearing the more desirable higher trim. That kind of spread means there's a genuinely great example out there no matter your budget. And if you thought that combination of driving fun and low ownership cost was hard to beat, the next car on this list is about to make its own compelling case for your money.
Number 2. Honda Pilot 2010. Here's something Honda would probably prefer you didn't Google before buying one of these. The exact same generation Pilot had some genuinely rough model years surrounding it on both sides, model years that mechanics and reliability trackers openly warn people away from. And somehow, right in the middle of that mess, this specific year quietly became the one everybody actually wants. Let's have a little fun with that. Buying a used SUV is a bit like ordering from a food truck with a shaky health inspection history. You don't avoid the whole truck, you just figure out exactly which items on the menu were safe. And it turns out this particular year is the safe order. Lucky for you, we already did the homework, so you don't end up as the cautionary tale in someone else's video. Here's what makes this generation genuinely appealing for family duty. Every trim comes with the same 3.5-liter V6, a properly robust engine that Honda has refined for years, delivering enough power to comfortably haul 8 passengers and tow a decent trailer without feeling strained. The cabin is where this thing really earns its keep. 3 full rows of seating, a second row that fits 3 child seats across if needed, and a genuinely usable third row that adults can sit in without complaint on shorter trips. Ride quality is composed and controlled for something this size. Steering is more precise than you'd expect from a boxy family SUV, and the interior layout favors function over flash, with simple, durable materials that hold up to years of kids, pets, and cargo. Reliability surveys consistently rate this generation well above average, and it's easy to see why once you're behind the wheel. It simply feels like a vehicle built to be used hard for a decade and shrug it off. Now, here's your homework before you buy. This generation uses Honda's variable cylinder management system, a feature designed to shut down cylinders during light cruising to save fuel. On some units, that system has been linked to higher than expected oil consumption, serious enough that Honda faced a class action settlement over it years ago. The fix here is simple diligence. Ask for maintenance records showing regular oil changes, and confirm the previous owner kept an eye on oil level between services. You'll also want to listen for a whining or groaning sound from the power steering pump when turning the wheel at low speed, a known quirk on this generation that's inexpensive to address if caught early. And always request a transmission fluid service history, since Honda specifically recommends periodic drain and fill service using genuine fluid to keep shifting smooth over high mileage. Get a pre-purchase inspection focused on the power steering system and confirm oil consumption hasn't been an ongoing complaint and you're in solid shape. If you want the version savvy shoppers specifically target, this exact model year is already the one to chase, since it dodges the well-documented problems that show up in the years immediately before and after it. Within that, the EXL trim tends to be the sweet spot, giving you leather, a sunroof, and better sound insulation, without tacking on more complex features that only add failure points down the road. And here's the detail that really seals it. This generation earned reliability ratings in the high 4s out of 5 from major used car data sources, putting it firmly ahead of most 3-row SUVs from the same era, and long-term owners routinely report crossing well past 150,000 miles with nothing more than standard upkeep. It's the kind of vehicle where the biggest risk isn't the SUV failing you, it's you getting talked into upgrading before this one's actually ready to retire. In the used market, this model can be found starting at around $3,000, with prices reaching up to $8,000 depending on the condition of the individual unit, trim level, and drivetrain. For a genuinely spacious, dependable family hauler that skipped its generation's reliability drama entirely, that's a remarkably small price for that much peace of mind. And it sets a high bar for whatever's coming up next on this list.
Number 1. Toyota Corolla 2012. If this list had a plot twist, this is it. Every car so far had a personality, a quirk, a little bit of flair. This one has none of that. And somehow, that complete lack of personality is exactly why it earned the top spot on today's list. Let's have a laugh about that for a second. The Corolla has been mocked for decades as the automotive equivalent of beige wallpaper. Nobody's ever pointed at one in a parking lot and gotten excited. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Its total lack of excitement is precisely why it never breaks down, never gets stolen, and never costs you a fortune. Boring, it turns out, is a feature, not a flaw. Let's talk about why this generation specifically deserves the crown. Under the hood sits the 1.8-liter four-cylinder, an engine widely regarded as one of the most over-engineered, long-lasting power plants ever put into a compact car. Multiple owners routinely report crossing 300,000 miles on nothing more than scheduled oil changes and basic upkeep. Independent repair data backs this up directly, ranking this car first out of 36 compact cars for overall reliability, with an average annual repair cost sitting right around $360, the lowest of any vehicle in its class. Fuel economy is excellent too, stretching into the mid-30s on the highway, which matters a lot if you're putting real miles on this thing every week. Inside, the layout is refreshingly simple. Physical buttons, straightforward gauges, nothing to configure or update. Just get in and drive. And because it's one of the best-selling vehicles in automotive history, parts are everywhere. Mechanics know it inside and out, and repairs almost never come with any guesswork attached. Now, here's what actually needs your attention before you buy one. This generation was part of a widely reported airbag inflator recall connected to a component supplier used across the entire industry at the time, and it's honestly one of the most important safety recalls of the last 2 decades. Confirmed through the vehicle identification number that this specific repair was completed, since it's a free fix and absolutely worth verifying before you hand over any money.
Beyond that, keep an ear out for premature rear brake wear, a fairly common complaint on this generation, along with the occasional AC compressor issue on higher mileage examples. If the car has crossed the 125 to 150,000 mile mark, ask specifically whether the transmission has ever hesitated or shifted roughly, since that's a documented concern at higher odometer readings. None of this changes the fundamental case for this car. Just request full service records, confirm that recall was handled, and get a pre-purchase inspection focused on brakes and transmission behavior under load. If you want the version most buyers specifically recommend, look for the LE trim, which strikes the best balance of comfort features without adding unnecessary complexity, and pairs beautifully with that famously bulletproof engine. And here's the detail that makes this whole list click into place. Multiple long-term owners describe this specific model year as having the fewest complaints and cleanest ownership record of any Corolla generation in recent memory, a genuinely remarkable claim for a car built in the millions. It's not fast, it's not flashy, and it will never turn heads in a parking lot. But it will start every single morning, it will never surprise you with a repair bill, and it will probably outlive whatever car replaces it in your driveway. In the used market, this model can be found starting at around $3,000, with prices reaching up to $9,000 depending on the condition of the individual unit, mileage, and trim level. For the kind of ownership experience where the biggest excitement all year is a routine oil change, that's about as smart a purchase as budget shopping gets, and it's exactly why it earned the #1 spot on today's list.
And that brings us to the end of the countdown. 4 completely different vehicles, 4 completely different price points, and one shared thread running through every single pick. Real-world reliability that actually holds up outside a dealership brochure. If this list just saved you from wasting money on the wrong used car, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now, because there's a lot more where this came from. Drop a like on this video if you made it all the way to the end. It genuinely helps this channel keep making guides like this one. And if you're already thinking about which of these 4 might be your next car, stick around, because there's another video waiting for you right now that's going to make that decision a whole lot easier. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.